Is the iPhone 8 still worth in 2020? Well, let's find out. Hey, what is up guys, I'm Tech, and on this video, we're gonna find out if the Apple iPhone 8 is still worth in 2020. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus came out in late 2017, right before the iPhone X came out. So it's been nearly 3 years since the device came out, but my question is it still worth in 2020? So the iPhone 8 still has the same design and look as the previous iterations like the iPhone 6 and 7. So if you were a fan of the iPhone 6 and 7's design, you are still definitely going to appreciate the design on the iPhone 8. This phone to this day still feels pretty solid in the hand, and it is constructed out of this premium aluminum all over the sides, and I have to say it feels pretty good when you are holding it on your hands. The back of the phone is made out of glass, and the reason being is because the iPhone 8 supports wireless charging, which is a plus, especially in 2020, since pretty much all the iPhones that are currently coming out have some sort of wireless charging compatibility, and with the iPhone 8 you still get wireless charging, which is a plus. Now that we're on the topic of charging, let's talk about the battery life on this phone, because for me, if I want to buy an older device in 2020, I want to make sure that the battery life still holds up in today's standards, and I have the iPhone 8 Plus and it has a 2675 milliamps, and I have to say the battery life is pretty decent. Obviously it's not the best compared to other phones that I've tested in the past, but in today's standards it still holds up pretty well. If you aren't a heavy user, you can easily get throughout the whole day with just one single charge, but if you are a heavy user, you can easily get around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, so battery life is okay on this phone. In terms of the screen, the iPhone 8 still has a pretty solid screen even to this day. Like I said, I have the iPhone 8 Plus and it has a 5.5 inch screen, and it is 1920 by 1080 Retina HD display. Even though this is only a 1080p screen and not a 2K screen like my S9, it still doesn't look bad at all. Obviously the screen is not as sharp as my S9's when compared side by side, but the colors on the iPhone 8 still look pretty solid. The screen has a nice amount of contrast and saturation, and overall the screen resolution won't disappoint you even when coming from a 2K screen. So this phone still has massive bezels on top and at the bottom of the screen. In fact, they are even bigger than my 5-year-old LG G4. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of phones that have massive bezels, especially in today's standards, since pretty much all phones that are coming out to this day are bezel-less screens, and this right here will automatically give you the look that you have an older phone with the giant bezels. But if you don't mind that, then you don't have to worry about that. Now let's talk about the specs on this phone, if they are still good to this day. The iPhone 8 was running iOS 11 when it first was released, but now it is running iOS 13, and unlike Samsung or LG where they only give you 1 or 2 years of updates and after that you don't get any updates, Apple really got you covered when it comes to buying an older phone, because right now even like 5-year-old phones like the iPhone 5 will still get updates to this day, which is really good to see from Apple. And I think this is the main reason why I would still consider the iPhone 8 in 2020, is because you are still going to get updates and you won't be behind on updates when having an older iPhone. The iPhone 8 Plus and iPhone 8 is rocking the A11 Bionic chip, and to this day it still feels pretty smooth and solid when scrolling through apps or just having multiple apps open at the same time, and I haven't experienced any type of lag or stutters thanks to the A11 chip, so speed and performance is still pretty good on the iPhone 8. It has 3GB of RAM, and like I said, it feels pretty smooth, and also the camera on the iPhone 8 doesn't disappoint even in 2020. The iPhone 8 Plus has dual 12 megapixel cameras. One is your regular wide f1.8 camera and the other one is a f2.8 telephoto camera. My favorite thing about this camera is that it can record in 4K at 60 frames, which is insane. Not even my main YouTube camera that I'm using right now to record this video can record at this resolution nor at this frame rate. You can also do super slow motion with this camera, and it also has some other cool camera features, but I'm not gonna go too in depth about the camera because there are plenty of detailed videos on YouTube about that. So now my question is the Apple iPhone 8 still worth in 2020? Well, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this phone still performs pretty good, and it also checks most of my requirements. Like, it has a decent battery life, great camera, it also has IP67 water resistant, and most importantly, it has great iOS support, meaning you won't be behind on updates like I mentioned earlier. My biggest complaint about the iPhone 8 is that it doesn't have a headphone jack, and you either have to buy a dongle or use wireless earbuds. Also, Apple has been way behind on their screens by only implementing a 1080p screen instead of a 2K screen like how Samsung does it on their phones. Even like older phones like the Samsung S6 and S7 already have a 2K screen, so I don't know why iPhone didn't implement a 2K screen on their iPhone 8. And we all know that Samsung has been killing it with their screens, but that's not a huge deal breaker for some people because, like I said, the screen is pretty solid in terms of sharpness. Not a huge fan of the large bezels though. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys think the iPhone 8 is still worth in 2020, and let me know if you guys like this video, and also let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next on this channel. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.